Hey, so here's the deal. Anytime you want change in your life, you're typically dealing with two circumstances. And those circumstances are the undesirable circumstance and the desirable circumstance. But here's the problem. Here's the challenge, y'all. When we are dealing with undesirable circumstance, most of us put all of our activation energy into getting out of the desirable, into getting out of the undesirable, right? But what we have to realize is when we have goals and when we have these big things that we really want to accomplish and we really want to do, we're so pressed about getting out of the undesirable circumstance. I hate this job. My health is bad. I need to get out of this relationship, right? When we are dealing with major change in our life, we fail to recognize that we're really dealing with two different circumstances, but we put all of our energy into one. So again, we're dealing with the undesirable circumstance, the thing that we want to remove ourselves from. And then we're also dealing with the desirable circumstance, the thing we want to move toward. Okay. But here's where we go wrong. And here's the problem I came to solve for you today. When we are in an undesirable circumstance or situation, most of us use nearly 100% of our activation energy to get out of the undesirable circumstance. I need to lose this weight, Lisa. I hate my job. I need to get out of this place. Like, I'm unhappy with my friendships. I'm unhappy with my relationship. I'm unhappy with my financial situation. I'm not satisfied with my relationship with God, right? And so we have these challenges in our life. And because we're so focused on the undesirable, we tend to also put all our energy into getting out of the undesirable, okay? And then we don't really put or have even enough energy left over to go towards the desirable until we're forced to. So here's what happens. Why do we do this? Why do we, when we are in an unhappy or undesirable circumstance, do we put all of our activation energy into getting out of that circumstance and we don't have any energy left over, or even recognize the fact that we need energy to move toward the desirable, to move toward our health goals and optimal health, to move toward financial freedom, to move towards professional fulfillment? Like, why don't we have or reserve energy for that thing that we want, and we give all our energy to the thing that we don't want? I'm going to tell you why. The reason we do this is because we believe that moving out of the undesirable is the same as entering into the desirable. I'm going to repeat that. When we are unhappy with a certain area of our life, the reason we put nearly all of our energy into moving and getting out of the undesirable is because we have a belief that getting out of the thing that we don't desire, as long as we do that, like as long as we lose the weight, like as long as we change careers, like as long as we get out of the friendship, we think that's the same as moving into the desirable circumstance. So in our minds, we think, okay, if I put this condition in remission, if I lose this weight, then that is equal to moving into optimal health. Like, if I'm free of the diagnosis, if I'm free of the medications, if I'm free of the excess weight, that's the same as being optimally healthy, right? So if I move out of the job that unfulfills me, right, then that's the same as moving into a place where I'm fulfilled. We believe if I get out of debt, that's the same as entering into financial freedom. Is that making sense? So the reason we put all of our energy into getting out of the thing that is unfulfilling and unhappy for us is because we believe that it is equal to moving into and entering into the thing or the place where we really want to be. And it's not. So here's what happens. We will start the journey of losing the weight. We'll start the journey of getting healthy. We'll start the journey of, changing positions or changing careers or starting to reconcile our relationships. And then inevitably, what a lot of people do, what happens is we get stuck in between the two. We get stuck in between the desirable and undesirable. And we inevitably find ourselves back in the undesirable. And we like, how the hell did I get back here? We like, how did I gain the weight back? We like, how did I get into another friendship or another relationship that looks very similar to the last one, that has the same type of toxic traits as the last one? We like, how did I get out of debt and then work myself back into debt? We like, we're confused, right? Because we thought moving out of the undesirable was equivalent to moving into the desirable. Okay, now that y'all know that that's not true, Y'all see, I got my hat on backwards today because I'm going to teach today. So I need you to go grab your pen, grab your paper, and I'm about to give you the solution. The only two things you need when you have major goals in your life. And most of you guys are only dealing with the first one. Most of you guys got the first one, but you don't have a second one, right? And that is why you keep finding yourself in this gray area where you're like, how did I get out of that situation? But I'm not fully where I want to be. And then after a while, you're like, how did I get back in that situation? Right? Okay. So when you have two major goals, you need two major things. All right. And I'm about to tell you what those are. And I need you to grab your pen and pad. I need you to tap your neighbors because this is what everybody's missing. So I did an interview recently with my coach, ET, and I sat down with him and we were talking about chronic stress and we were talking about diet and we were talking about food addiction, right? And I was breaking down, ET asked me about chronic stress. He said, tell the people, he was like, okay, break down stress for us, right? And so I told him there's two types of stress, acute and chronic, right? And I was breaking down to him, why chronic stress exists for people, because chronic stress is deadly. It kills you, right? Nobody should have chronic stress. Acute stress, that's normal. That's life. Chronic stress, deadly, right? And so ET asked me, he was like, well, how do we get rid of chronic stress? And I told him exactly what I'm about to tell y'all, okay? When you have a major goal in your life and you want to move from a undesirable circumstance. It could be in your health. It could be in your career. It could be in friendships. It can be in relationships. It can be financial. It could be spiritual. It could be personal development. When you are in an undesirable circumstance in your life and you want to get to a more desirable place, you need two things. The first is you need an exit strategy. Okay. Shout out to YouTube. The first, you need an exit strategy. And the second thing you need is an enter strategy. Now, let me tell you where everybody goes wrong, okay? With an exit strategy, all right, an exit strategy very specifically is all about what do I need to do? What do I need to do? So when you want to get healthy, okay, like Lisa, I'm sick of waking up in pain. Lisa, I'm sick of waking up and I'm tired every single day, no matter how long I slept. Lisa, I'm sick of being insecure in my body. Lisa, I'm sick of dealing with this anxiety. I'm sick of dealing with this depression. I'm sick of being insecure. Lisa, I'm sick of these stomach pains. You know, Lisa, like somebody close to me just got diagnosed with diabetes. Somebody close to me just had a heart attack or a stroke. Somebody close to me is suffering. I'm sick of suffering. Like, how do we get out of this circumstance, right? And what everybody wants to know, what the question that everybody asks when they are in an undesirable circumstance, the question that everybody asks, and this is the right question to ask. It's just not the end of the question asking. But the question that everybody asks is, what do I need to do? What do I need to do, Lisa? I'm battling this sugar addiction. I heard you say it's one of the most inflammatory things you can put in your body. Lisa, I eat a lot of oil. I heard you say that clogs the arteries. I heard you say that's going to stall my weight loss. Lisa, I heard you say, so what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Like how do I need, I'm interested in this plant-based thing, Lisa. What do I need to do? Right. So the question that everybody asks when they are in an undesirable circumstance is what I need to do. And that is the operative question that you need to be asking for your exit strategy. How the heck do I get this weight off of me? How the heck do I stop taking these medications? How the heck do I get mental clarity and get rid of the brain fog and the lapses in my memory that I've been experiencing? Lisa, I write or I create for a living and I have creator's block. I have writer's block. Like, how do I get the mental clarity that you always bragging about, Lisa? That's what I hear all the time. Like, Lisa, you always bragging about mental clarity. I want that. I want that. So how do I get it? So the question is, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And you're 100% right. That's the question. So let me tell you the exit strategy mistake that people make. When it's time to formulate an exit strategy to get out of an undesirable circumstance, people ask, what do they need to do, right? And if you're asking the right person, you're going to get the right answer. But a lot of times people just ask themselves and they try and figure out, they try and DIY what they need to do. And the answer they come up with is too broad, is too generic, and it's not anything tangible. So people will say things like, okay, what do I need to do to lose this weight? You know what? I need to be more disciplined. What do I need to do to eat right and get over this food addiction? You know what? I need to be more consistent, right? They come up with these things like, I need to just, if I can just be more disciplined, if I can just be more consistent, if I could just, if I could just be more prepared, I need to prepare more, right? That's what everybody says. And they're not really crystal clear on the details of the things they truly need to do to lose the weight. They're just like, I just need to be more disciplined. But the question is, disciplined on what? What specifically do you need to be more disciplined about, right? And so the first thing you need to move out of an undesirable circumstance is an exit strategy. The operative question when formulating an exit strategy is, what do I need to do? But those steps have to be tangible. They have to be measurable. They have to be real steps that we can reach out and touch. Like, okay, the first step to weight loss, Lisa said, I got to get this water in. And Lisa said, I need to drink 25 ounces of water within the first 30 minutes of waking. I'm going to do that every day. What is the exit strategy from being overweight? What is the exit strategy from being chronically fatigued? What is your exit strategy from being chronically stressed out? Lisa, it's my job that's stressing me out. Okay, Lisa said I need an exit strategy to move from this undesirable circumstance. And she said that I need to have steps that tells me what I need to do. What's required for me to get out of this job? Because I've been complaining about it for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and I ain't did nothing about it. So obviously, right, the thing I've been telling myself about, I just need to be more confident. I just need to believe in myself more. That ain't working because I've been telling myself that story for years and I'm still at this place I don't like. I'm still in a position that I don't want to be in, right? So what do I tangibly need to do in order to get out of this circumstance, right? Okay, so that's the first thing you need. You need an exit strategy that has tangible steps, not just these stories about, I need to believe in myself and I need to be more positive and I ain't saying you don't need to do that stuff. But that stuff is not, you can't put that into action. And I'll tell you why. It's because usually you need help to become that. You need help to be more disciplined, to be more consistent, to believe in yourself, to have, confidence in yourself. You usually need somebody to invite you to a higher state of consciousness to become that. But first things first, we need to figure out, well, if I don't want to work here, where do I want to work? Do I want to work for somebody else? Do I want to work for myself? Like, we need to make some decisions. This ain't about like, okay, I'm just going to think of myself out of this job. That ain't going to happen. Okay, so first you need an exit strategy with tangible steps. And if you're not sure on the steps, that's where you seek wise counsel. Okay, so we got to stop thinking we can DIY everything. Just because you know your problem doesn't mean you're qualified to solve it. Just because you know your problem doesn't mean you're qualified to solve it. Like, just because you know you're overweight, hypertensive, diabetic, high cholesterol, stomach issues, skin issues, reproductive health issues, aches and pains, just because you know your problem don't mean you have any clue on how to solve it. So for your exit strategy, if you know you are unqualified to solve the problem, you must seek wise counsel. You must seek wise counsel. That can be in the form of a coach, a mentor, something, right? But you have to seek wise counsel if you're unsure of the tangible steps that must be taken to move from here to there, to move from the undesirable to the desirable. So that's the first thing you need when you have major goals. You need an exit strategy, but it can't be no fluff. What do you need to do to get out this job? I just need to believe in myself more. No, bro, you need to write a letter of resignation. That's step one. Step two is go ahead and submit that application that you ain't hit submit yet on for that other position at your job that you would prefer to have. Go ahead and submit that application to register your LLC that you've been sitting on. It ain't no, I just need to talk myself into believing that I can do it. No, that ain't the first step. The first step is execution, because confidence comes from evidence. Evidence comes from action. Okay? Confidence don't come from telling yourself that you're confident every day. It comes from evidence. You need to get evidence of something. Okay, so that's step one. Okay, all right. So the first thing we need is an exit strategy. Y'all got that. We know those need to be tangible steps. Y'all got that. If you don't know the tangible steps, you need to seek wise counsel. You got that. You seek a possibility model, somebody who's done it, somebody who's done something similar, and you seek wise counsel. Okay. But here's where everybody goes wrong. I've been coaching for nearly 10 years, and this is the part. This second one is the one that causes people to gain the weight back. This second one is the part that causes people to be right back in an undesirable circumstance that they just left. This is the one that nobody ever addresses. Okay. It's the enter strategy. Everybody knows, like, I need to know what to do. That's the exit strategy. Nobody has ever, in all the years that I have been coaching, nobody has ever asked, nobody has ever inquired about the enter strategy. Nobody, like legit nobody. Like nobody has been like, Lise, okay, if I lose the weight, if I exit from being obese, if I exit from being, diagnosed with something, how do I move into optimal health? How do I do it? Like how? Like how? You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about that part. People are creating an exit strategy without an enter strategy. So the first thing you need for enter strategy is an understanding that exiting from debt is not the same as entering into financial abundance. The first thing you need for an enter strategy is the understanding that exiting from your 9-to-5 that you hate is not the same as entering into a fulfilling career. They're not the same. You have to understand that exiting from an unhealthy relationship is not the same as entering into a healthy one. Does everybody got that? And so that's why you guys don't create enter strategies, because you think exiting from the thing is automatically entering into the other thing, and it's not. I need you to see it as two completely separate circumstances. Okay. So that is why when you lose the weight, you go back to gaining it, because you didn't have an enter strategy for becoming optimally healthy. You just had an exit strategy from obesity. Okay. Y'all got it? So shout out to Dr. Travis. Right. So I need you guys to understand that there's a difference. Now let me teach you how to create an enter strategy. Okay. So an exit strategy begs the question, what do I need to do? While an enter strategy begs the question, who do I need to become? Now, it's important to note that both strategies require both questions to be answered. But here's the difference. With the exit strategy, the most important question is, what do I need to do? And the second most important question is, who do I need to become? However, with the enter strategy, the most important question is, who do I need to become? And the second most important over there is, what do I need to do? Okay. So when it comes to your enter strategy, the who do I need to become is the operative question. It's the operative question. Like, yeah, you can lose the weight. Like, yeah, you can do the hard work initially to get out of debt. Yeah, you can do the hard work to get out of this job. But who do I need to become to successfully enter entrepreneurship if that's your desire? Like, who do I need to become to successfully keep the weight off? It's not just what do I need to do to lose it, but who do I need to become to keep it off? So the enter strategy is a very different strategy from the exit strategy. Okay. And so here's the thing. We're doing this 30-day vegan challenge, right? In June 1st to the 30th. We're doing a run up right now. We're prepping all of our registrants in the month of May for this challenge, right? And so people are coming into the challenge, and when they register for the challenge, I ask them to email me and tell me why are they registering for the challenge? Like, what do they hope to accomplish? Like, what's their goals, right? And so that's what I asked them to tell me. And so they're sending these emails, and they're like, I want to be healthy. I want to get this weight off of me. I want to kick this sugar habit, right? They're emailing me and telling me all the goals that they have and all the things they want to accomplish, right? And everybody is telling me what they want to exit from, right? Everybody is telling me what they want to exit from. And so this challenge, this 30-day vegan, salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge that we're doing June 1st to the 30th, I'm going to be teaching people both. First, I'm going to give them the exit strategy. Like, okay, let me tell you, you're diabetic. Okay. You're hypertensive. Okay. You got kidney failure. Okay. You got these issues, painful periods, erectile dysfunction. Okay. I can tell you what you need to do. I can tell you. Okay. I can tell you what you need to stop eating. Tell you what you need to start eating. I can tell you, our team can tell you how you need to move, how you need to be exercising. Like, I'm going to tell you all the things you need to do. So this 30-day vegan challenge is a great example of an exit strategy. Like, and again, when you take the challenge, because you're going to be supported by a team of coaches, you're also seeking wise counsel at the same time. It's like the best thing ever. Like, I don't even got to think for myself. Like, why wouldn't I? Right? So we're going to be giving you the exit strategy. But one thing I know is that if I teach people, if we guide people through the adaptation of a plant-based lifestyle, SOS-free lifestyle for the month of June, and we only address the things they need to do, if we only address the things they need to do, then we're giving them the short end of the stick. Like, we're cheating them out of the whole transformation. Because if all I do through the month of June is teach people how to eat, how to drink, how to move, how to sleep, right? How to grocery shop, right? How to cook. If that's all I do for the month of June, I am potentially setting people up for long-term failure. They'll have short-term success, but long-term failure. They'll have short-term success, but long-term failure, because I only gave them the exit strategy, right? So this is a tip for y'all coaches and y'all teachers out there too. We have to stop just giving people the exit strategy, and we have to also give them the enter strategy. So what else am I going to do throughout the challenge in the month of June? Not only are we going to tell people what to do, the exit strategy, but we're also going to teach them who they need to become, the enter strategy. So I no longer teach health science and lifestyle science without addressing mindset. I no longer teach this stuff without telling them what needs to shift in their belief system in order for them to maintain the results I'm about to give them. So let me give you a quick example before we hop off, okay? When it comes to who do you need to become? So let's take the challenge, for example. We're doing this vegan challenge, SOS free. People are like, I want to lose weight. I want to get my health back. I want to, feel my best. I want to be optimally healthy. I'm going to tell them everything they need to do to become that. But one of the things that I'm going to actually tell them, like, about who you need to become, to be crystal clear, is, for example, you need to become a decision maker, right? Because I can come in and lecture to you guys for an hour about meat and dairy and sugar. Like, I could do that in my sleep. I can do it in the daytime. I can do it in the nighttime. I can do it on a weekend. I can do it on a weekday. It don't matter. That's just teaching, right? That's my jam. I've mastered it. Let's get it, right? However, I have to spend some time with you telling you who you need to become, because who you need to become is the exit strategy, is the enter strategy, for keeping the stuff off. So an example of who you need to become throughout this 30-day challenge with me, so that you can make sure you can maintain your results when the challenge is over, is I need you to become a decision maker. So what does that mean? That means that part of the reason why you guys have not been able to successfully keep the weight off, part of the reason why even when you get results in your health, sometimes you find that you revert back to a comfort zone or your old habits, is because you're not a decision maker, because you're playing in these gray areas called transition and moderation. You're playing in these gray areas called transition and moderation. Those are what we call gray areas. And baby, let me tell you something. When you are unwell, when you are sick, when you are medicated, when you don't feel your best, even if you don't have a diagnosis, if you know you don't feel your best, if you're not your best self, you don't look good in gray. That ain't your color. When you are not if you're anything less than the best version of yourself, gray is not your color. Moderation and transition are gray areas. You don't get to eat this mess in moderation. You're not your best self. You don't get to take a year transitioning off of dairy. You ain't your best self. There's a sense of urgency that exists when you're not your best self. Get out of the gray area and go wear your colors. You need to be black or you need to be white. But transition and moderation is gray, and you can't afford to be gray. You're unwell. You can't afford to be gray. You're unwell. Gray. Need you guys to understand that moderation and transition are privileges. They're luxuries. And when we're not well, when we're not doing good, we tend to think that I still get the privilege of those things. Like, no, you're in treatment. Like, you're in treatment for something. You don't get to still moderate that mess. You don't get to call it a transition. You need to be a decision maker. Decision makers aren't in transition. Decision makers aren't moderating. They have decided that I'm no longer eating that mess because that's what got me to where I am. Decision makers are not in transition. Decision makers do not moderate. They are decided. They are decisive. And so part of my enter strategy for you during this 30-day challenge is I'm going to be teaching you who you need to become. And I'm going to do a whole lesson on decision making. That's one of the things I had to become in order to keep off 65 pounds. It's one of the things I had to become in order to maintain a whole food plant-based lifestyle consistently at a high level, intentional like that. I don't cheat and have a burger every now and then. I don't cheat and have fish every now and then. Like I don't eat. I've decided. And I'm not telling you to decide what I decided. I'm telling you to just decide and stop playing with these words that make you feel good about not making a decision. Like transition and moderation. Stop, just decide, make decisions. And I'm not telling you what to decide. Like if you gonna eat the shit, like if you like, Lise, I'm not giving up all sugar. I don't care what you say. I respect that. But don't let me run into you out in these streets and you telling me you still in transition and you took my class a year ago. No, you're not in transition. You just undecided. Quit playing with my feelings. Like it's okay if you decide you're not going to give it all up. A lot of people do. I'm not telling you what to decide. I'm just telling you make decisions so life can flow better. Because when you make a decision about, you know what, I'm not going to give up all animal products. I'm just going to still eat a little bit of animal products. At least I'm going to keep this and I'm going to keep that. You are now deciding that whatever keeping that comes with, I'm okay with. Like if that means I can lose most of the weight, but not all of it, I'm okay with that. Like you get to decide, but stop playing in these gray areas to make yourself feel good about not making decisions. So who do I need to become, i.e. enter strategy, in order to maintain the results I'm going to get, in order to successfully move from an undesirable to a desirable circumstance? That's the question that nobody asks. That's the question nobody formulates an enter strategy, because people believe leaving the undesirable is the same as entering into the desirable. It is not the same. You need a strategy for both. You need a strategy for both so that you can stop falling in that messy middle and inevitably falling back into the undesirable. Like your next relationship can be your best relationship. Like the next time you lose that weight can be the last time you lose that weight. Like the next time you go to that doctor and they say, oh, clean bill of health, what have you been? Keep it up. That could be the last time you see that man or woman. Like this could be a good thing. Like this stuff is sustainable, guys. Like the desirable is accessible. Let's be clear about that. Like, is that available to me? This runs in my family. What you desirable is accessible. What you desire is accessible. So number one, it's accessible. And number two, it's sustainable. But in order for you to get accessible and sustainable, you have to understand that I need an enter strategy and not just an exit strategy. Does that make sense? Okay, y'all done made me turn my hat to the back today. It's too much. So listen, here's what I need you guys to do. If you know in your health, you or somebody you love are not your best self. If you're not a 12 out of 10, then you need to be in the 30-day plant-based SOS free challenge, salt, oil, and sugar free challenge. If you're anything less than a 12 out of 10, because see, 10 out of 10 just means you ain't got no disease. That just means you disease free. That's like the basic, that's like the baseline of health. Like if your bar is that low, that's cool. That's on you. But if you're not a 12 out of 10, then I need you to register for the challenge. It's free. We're going hard June 1st to the 30th. We're going to teach you the who you need to become and what you need to do, the exit and the enter strategy, because those are the two things you need for any goal in life. And some of you guys are only trying to come up with the exit strategy. You don't have an enter strategy. And so you find yourself reverting back to the same circumstances and you're in this cycle and you can't figure out where you're going wrong. So number one, create and seek wise counsel. Okay, we're going to be your counsel throughout this experience. We're going to hold your hand through this experience and make sure you have what you need to be successful. Okay, so click the link in my bio on Instagram and the show notes on YouTube. In the show notes, if you're listening to this on the Plant Protocol podcast, hey. And I will be back here next week and we're going to keep going. We just did our first drop for our challenger. So far for the challenge, we have over 300 people registered. We just did our first drop for them on Friday. We're dropping content to prepare them for the challenge every Friday in May. So you don't want to have to get caught up. Why don't you just get in here so you can be on pace? It ain't nothing like coming to something 20 days later. You done missed 3 drops. You got to go try and crunch and do everything in the final week. Just get in here now. It don't cost you anything but time. Okay. Because your health deserves the time that it costs you. Okay. And come get this health. So get registered in the link. What up? What up, Deaky? What's your why? How bad do you want it? What's up, bro? Deaky from Philly. Always supporting. I appreciate it. So come get in the challenge and make sure you guys have what you need to be prepared, because we're prepping all of May, because we know it's a heavy lift and it's a big ask for people. So I don't want you all to come in here June 2nd trying to scramble and get it together. We're preparing you for the entire month of May. We're dropping content to you every Friday this month. Myself and my coaches, Coach Milan, drop is coming up this Friday. She specializes in weight loss. Coach Tiff, drop is coming next Friday. She specializes in chronic disease. Coach Kiwi, drop is coming the Friday after that. She specializes in plant-based athleticism and fitness. Like, I'm telling you, got a whole team of Black female plant-based coaches that's about to help y'all take it to the next level, but only if you want it bad enough. That's it for me. I got to get out of here, y'all. I got to go eat my first meal of the day, drink my tea, okay? And try not to yell at nobody else today. Bye, y'all.